Upon skirting the fringes of the gorge path, along its stony track, a spire stands between Adrick's home of Bolgantek and your group. With its shadow descending into the depths of the adjacent fissure, its foundations jutting out from the brambles below it, an oaken door choked by wrought iron creeps open, weeping the cold air from within its walls. Standing before it, the wind crossing a fiery red beard, rippling the tassels of his tabard, a dwarf pushes the door ajar, freeing it from the boards nailed abreast its arched frame. Adrick, as you step into the tower, just to remind you, you notice strewn across the floor, as the door opens and the breeze fully comes into this chamber. It blows numerous pieces of paper and parchment across the floor. There is no light source within this room, but with your dark vision, you do see the hues of grey and sepia. You can make out that these pieces of paper and parchment seem to emanate from the bookshelves and open boxes that are strewn around the room's perimeter. Some are broken, but most are still standing. A stairway lies ahead for those who can see through the darkened hall, but books lay open across the workbenches, accompanied by tools not seen use in days.
Any signs of life?
There is nothing. The air is still, except for the breeze that is blowing from behind you.
Footprints?
No, not in the sort of near vicinity that you are standing in.
I'll pick up one of the bits of paper.
The piece of paper, the parchment that you pick up, as it sort of unfurls itself, you can see that it is all handwritten notes, but they seem to be handwritten notes across printed scripture. It seems to be notes on things like prospecting, metallurgy, things to do with excavations and mining.
Written on top of whatever else was printed on it.
Yes, so the scribbling seemed to be almost like a footnotes, linking other bits of information to this piece of paper. Almost as if it's someone's sort of a book study before they write a paper or something of scientific use.
Cool. I'll drop it. You said there's a stairway?
Yeah, so there's a stairway across the room. Just some general features of the room that you're currently in. The ceiling within this lower level of the tower look to be on the side of 16 to 20 feet high. There are shelves dotted around in certain locations, and you can see that there are the glimpse of the window sills of these small windows that were visible from the outside, but there are few, almost as if you were to stay within these walls, you would most certainly miss the outside glow of the sun upon your skin. The staircase that you can see across the room, it's about... Yeah, so the room in itself is erring on the side to 60 to 70 feet wide internally. The staircase almost seems to have a double staircase kind of design to it. Almost as if there's an outer skin to this this room, as if there's two staircases entwining that would circle up to the upper floors.
Weird. I want to check the doors.
So the only door is the one that you came through.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, sure thing.
It was nailed shut on the outside.
Yes.
Any damage on the inside?
As you look through the profile of the door, the outside, except for where the nails have been sort of punctured through, that's the only damage that you can see. But from the inside, you can see what look to be the scratching marks of either someone or something's fingernails.
Oh, on the inside?
On the inside.
What sort of height are they?
Your height. The door itself is only 7 foot high, if that. So they do, if you stretch your arms up, you can reach like the upper set of these scratch marks that go down, that are raking down the boards of this oak door. They're not very deep. They're probably no more than 1/8 of an inch deep, nice. Actually, it's a bit too deep. A 1/16 of an inch, so no more than 4 mil, 5 mil.
Thanks. Yeah, I work in metric.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to keep it in the same measurement of of the game, but yeah, I don't work in old money. It's difficult.
That's my head in. All right. I'm going to stick my head out the door and say to the others, can't see anyone around, but there's some weird scratches on the inside of the door. Anyone want to come and have a look upstairs?
Yeah. I'll go.
I'll come as well.
Okay, there's 3 of you in.
I'll come with.
Hop, hop, hop.
Cool. Okay. Harshnag kneels down to speak with you, Adric. I will not be joining you for the obvious reasons I cannot fit through that door. I will stand guard outside in case something encroaches the tower or encroaches the city. I shall call for you through one of the windows if anything does happen.
Yeah, I guess, Harshnag, you might be able to look in through the windows, see what we're getting up to.
As you ask that and you look back and point and show where the windows are, the windows themselves, he can't reach the upper set, the sort of the first floor windows. He would have to jump up and look through them. He can only look through the ground floor windows with ease. This is quite a tall tower. If the door was bigger, he would stand quite comfortably, maybe hitting his head on maybe the top chandelier that was sort of protruding through the dark canopy within that chamber. But he wouldn't even be able to go up the stairwell, or the staircases, sorry.
Okay, let's go adventuring.
Cool. Okay. So yourself, Bree, Coco, Weylin, did you say you were going to go in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Loch, you're still a snake.
Oh, shit, am I still a snake?
So yeah, so you technically you will have 1 hour left of this wild shape.
Will the snake fit in?
The snake can fit in, yes.
Oh, the snake's going to continue with him. Yep.
Okay, the snake
Still in snake form.
continues in. Okay, not a problem. So as you follow your friend into the darkness within, Harshnag kneels adjacent to the edifice of the tower, its windows looming above, small in size, a few in number, an unwelcoming feeling of entrapment. You all feel this cold breeze wash over you as you go into this darkened chamber. For those of you who do not have dark vision, you will have to light a torch. There is some light coming through the windows. However, with the area that Bolgan Tech sits within, the sun doesn't creep over the mountain tops, so it's very, very low light. You probably would hit your shins on a table or a coffee table if you're not careful.
Weylin will spark up a torch.
It illuminates the room quite nicely, picking out all the details of the room. In doing so, you all see the extent of, for lack of a better description, the mess that is down here. But it's almost as if the boxes themselves have been brought in for the one specific purpose of investigation, experimentation, almost as if they contain materials, things to use within the tests that may have been done in this tower. Sorry, Adric, have you explained what this tower is to the group?
No.
No. Okay, not a problem.
No one's asked.
No one has asked. That is correct. With Weylin's torch illuminating the area, you can actually see that there are a fair few items here and there for like chemical processing, and there does seem to be some gem cutting wheels and tools used for like making jewelry, almost as if you would see within a shop back at Adbar.
How big is this room within this within the area?
From wall to wall, from what you can currently see, it would be about 60 to 65 feet. You can't help but notice that there is a bit of a wobble to the tower, not as if the foundations are slipping or there's some subsidence, but it has been constructed in that manner. And as you peer over to try and work that out, Weylin, again, it seems to be this stairwell that causes this shift in the concentricness of the tower's hexagon shape.
Adric,
Hello.
this room's not quite level. Do you know what's going on here?
What do you mean it's not level?
Weylin kind of looks at the walls. Looks like it's got a bit of a wobble to it.
Yeah,
Looks around.
I've not been inside before, but I had not noticed a problem from the outside. This is where the mage lives. Well, I think he's a mage. They're a mage, I should say.
Can I just get a bit of a description of the group of what they're doing within this floor, please? Let's just go down the list. Adrick, you're having a conversation with Weylin, so let's just have that as as your starting piece. Bree, what would you be doing?
Kind of wandering around, just looking at things that seem out of place.
Okay. Coco, what would you be doing?
What? So I'm going to look up. Like, what can I see?
So you can see that the ceiling in itself almost has a curved edge to it.
Okay.
Where this, overhearing the conversation from Adrick and Weylin, yes, you do notice that there is this sort of shift in where the walls sort of bend around and curve. You can follow the shape down, and it does lead to that stairwell. You can see high above within the ceiling space. There are 2 wrought iron chandeliers, one lower than the other, but the candles have very much melted away.
Okay. Do I see the start of the stairwell at all?
Yeah. So all of you are no more than 40 feet away from it at any given point if you're staying on the wall at the door side of this room.
Okay.
Just one quick one again about the ceiling. The windows, these very small arched windows, are about 8 feet below the face of the ceiling.
Okay. I'm just gonna test the stability of the stairwell.
Okay.
Since I'm a bit nimble, I'll have a little.
No
look.
worries. Okay, you go towards the stairwell. Bree, you're walking around. Loch, I know you're in snake form, but is there anything that you would like to be doing?
I'm just probably going to be sort of slithering around the room, looking. And I assume the eyesight with snakes is pretty good.
You've got dark vision up to 60 feet. You still retain that no matter what your wild shape is.
Oh, okay.
The only time it would change is if you were to do the polymorph spell.
Got you. So yeah, I'm going to be looking around for anything that seems of interest or of note.
Okay, no worries. So Adrick, Weylin, you're having this conversation, and Coco goes towards the stairwell. Coco, you notice that yes, this is a curving stair, and it does seem to be supported by where the walls curve out. That in itself is the support of the hewn staircase. But you can't help but notice that there is an opposing side to the staircase, as if another set of stairs goes in the opposite direction. But both stairs, bottoms of the stairs, they land on the same platform.
Okay. Can I have a look?
So the only light source that you have is the torch
dark
that
vision,
the only is Weylin's sort of a torch that he has in his hand. You look up and you can see roughly no more than 20 feet in front of you before it drops off into sort of like the low light darkness.
Okay. Just quickly see if I have any.
You should have some torches.
I've got a lantern. Ooh.
Do I notice him looking for a torch?
Yeah.
I could quickly cast a light spell on something.
There's numerous oddities on the workbenches adjacent to you all. The boxes, like these large container boxes, about 3 feet by 3 feet square in profile. You could grab some random item from that and cast light on it.
Yeah, I could do that.
Cool. Okay. Looks to be some sort of stirring spoon that you just grabbed.
Okay, I will light a stirring spoon and throw it at Coco.
I'll catch it and go, oh,
Yeah.
it's a shiny spoon.
So you can now see clearly up the stairwell.
Oh, that's cool.
So, Loch, you're slithering around on the floor. You perch yourself up to try and see what's on the countertops in your sort of search. And Bree is going sort of counterclockwise. I'm doing the same thing as you. She can sort of get to some higher parts than what you can. You go past. Actually, the pair of you meet in the middle and walk and pass each other, but almost in unison, you stop. Bree, you about turn. You can't help but notice something odd about these 3 sets of bookcases that are set, like recessed in to where the staircase starts, almost as if these were propping up the staircase. Yeah. Loch, noticing that, you turn, and with your sensitive nostrils of being a python, a snake, you notice that there is a slight breeze that comes from these bookcases.
I see. Is it from like the edge of a bookcase, or any specific part, or just from in general? Maybe as if there's like a hidden door.
I head towards the bookcase,
Okay.
noticing that Loch kind of honed in on this too, and kind of start, I guess, looking around the bookcase to see if there is like a hinge or anything on the sides.
Yeah, I'll start following the edges.
Not a problem. So, Bree, can I please ask you to roll perception? Wonderful. So I've just got to move some stuff out of the way. Put that to the back. Loch, as you're sort of breathing in the air with your tongue, you can feel that, yes, there is a breeze that comes from the seams underneath and around to you, the far right bookcase, but to Bree, this is the bookcase that she has stood in front of, and Bree, you're checking the seams. As you run your hand down the what you try to get to the very back of this bookcase, but it is within the wall itself. You can't help but notice, you feel a break in the blockwork. It's not as smooth as the front face of these blocks, almost as if it's been busted out. It's been broken, like chipped. But there does seem to be like a very minimal gap that you could probably get some like a piece of parchment through.
Mm-hmm.
There's something odd about this bookcase.
I'll kind of, when I move the books, I'm not gonna damage the books or anything. So
Okay.
a handful at a time, grab a couple books, gently place them down.
Okay.
Around the area where I felt that gap.
Okay. So where you felt the gap, you move the books away from that edge. The hollowness of the bookcase, as you accidentally push a book too far back, and as it hits the back of the bookcase, it doesn't sound as wooden as it should do. With looking at the shelving, it is fully built into the bookcase. They aren't removable. Looking back to the seam, trying to gauge what books you should remove, there does seem to be ever so slightly some more smaller chip marks sort of within this seam. It's the inner face that the bookcase is trying to touch, but you can't make out what this marking is. There's a few other oddities on this bookshelf, like ornaments and things, but the books freely come loose. There's nothing attached to these books that you're removing. Nothing to indicate, like the trope of a book lever or a handle, and then it would slide forward. And you've now taken all of the books on the far right side of this bookshelf off. There's nothing there.
If I grabbed the inside corner of the bookshelf and tried to pull it,
You're trying to use your claws. There's nothing really to grip onto, like a handle.
Okay.
You could give it a go if you wanted to.
Yeah, or I'll grab one of the shelves and kind of pull it towards me to see if the bookcase moves.
So I will ask you to have I'm going to say dexterity, because you've got to be very careful of where you put your fingers. Okay. You managed to dig your fingers into certain parts of where the shiplap effect on the inside of this bookshelf. You managed to get in where the tongue and groove construction meet. And you do pull. You can feel a slight flex, but nothing breaks, nothing snaps, nothing clicks open, trying to break a latch or some sort of mechanism on what you believe is a movable bookshelf.
I'll look at Loch and I go, something weird here. Maybe we should call some others over. What do you think?
He can't talk to you.
He can nod.
I can understand though, yeah.
Yeah, you can understand her. Yeah.
I'll look at the bookcase and then look back at Bree, give a nod, and hiss.
All right. And then I'll head towards. Who can I see in the immediate area? I am assuming it would be just Adrick and Weylin.
You can see the feathered arm of Coco just around the corner of where the stairwell starts to go up. So you can really see everyone. You've got note of where everyone is within this room.
I'll head over to Coco first.
Whilst Bree's doing that, literally the second she turned her back to walk away, can I, still in snake form, just like give a heavy whack into the bookcase? Almost like a coiled, like sort of spring attack, just to see if that gives it a nudge or opens anything.
Sure. So it's an automatic hit. It's funny how we were talking about breaking tables and stuff just prior.
Yeah.
So I hope your character's not broken because we haven't taken you out of snake form. So what I need you to do is I'll just need you to roll. You don't have to target anything. Just hit the blood drop button for your wild shape.
Yep, I got a 5.
And then we'll see what happens.
Giant Constrictor. Just the blood drop, yeah?
Just the blood drop, yeah, just for the damage. Okay, you hit and you manage to slightly damage one of the shelving, but the bookcase itself seems very sturdy, almost as if it's been set into position, and the carpenter, the one who made the bookshelf, knew what they were doing with the joinery. But you were surprised that more didn't snap or shift. Whether it's because it's retained in place by the other two bookshelves, you don't know, or it's retained by the blockwork that surrounds the top right-hand side and the bottom faces.
I'll give a sheepish look back to see if Bree heard or saw me do that.
Oh, everyone heard you smack this thing.
Yeah. I'll shrug my shoulders like only a snake can.
There is a frustrated snake shaking his head. Hey, Bree, what were you doing with the group? Sorry.
I was heading to Coco.
Okay.
Squawk.
And I'll sneak up on him and then go boo. And see if that works.
Okay. All right, why not? We'll do stealth for you, please.
This way Bree gets a crit and Coco has a heart attack.
Do I see Bree rolling dice by any chance?
No. So, okay, as you're about to take one sort of step up the stairwell with having caught this spoon that's now aglow, you have these furry mitts just sort of jump around your ribcage and startle the living daylights out of you.
I'll let out like some unnerving squawk.
Right, okay.
I turn around.
Your squawk does echo throughout the hall of this room that you're in.
Oh no. So I'll turn around and be like, what are you scaring me for? What's going on?
Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting that. I think I see Loch and I found something a little odd with the bookcases. I don't feel comfortable damaging anything. Like I could do it, but I don't really want to do it to books and bookshelves.
Okay.
You want to take a look, see if you can find anything, because I might be missing something.
Yeah, okay, have a look. Is it the bookshelf you want to look at more?
Yes.
Okay.
Right over there.
I'll have a little look. I got a little torch. Esque thing.
Coco, you instantly realise that there seems to be like this like breeze coming around the edge. Some of the parchment that is around the floor, the linens that are on some of these boxes that are close to the edge of this bookshelf do slightly wave away from the bookshelf as if there is a breeze pushing against them from that edge. You can see that Bree has taken away a fair few books on the right-hand side as you're looking at this bookshelf. And there's a sizable dent in one of the shelving from the snake that is now adjacent to you.
Could I see if any of the books I can like possibly remember by name and stuff, but see if there's like a book that doesn't seem right to me at all?
Okay, you're looking through the spines of the books that are present on the bookshelf. All of them seem to be organized but well used. All look to be handmade. None seem to be from, a mass-produced seller.
Okay.
They're all in Dwarven. None are written in Common. But some do have sort of insignias on them. Some have like a sextant, which is almost like a compass / telescope item. Some have the looks of shovels and spades. Others seem to just have odd markings, either to be decorative or meaningful, but you do not understand their significance. It is a bit odd that some of the ornaments that would be on this shelf, they don't contain anything. One in particular looks like a six-pronged, almost like a clawed seating, like a pedestal for something that would hold an object up away from the its surface, almost if that object could not hold itself upright. But apart from that, nothing else looks out of the ordinary. Are you touching anything on this bookshelf?
I sort of noticed that anyway. The clawed, let's say, chassis or something. Could I run like one of my
Have I dropped
fingers?
out of Discord?
No.
Can't hear you, buddy.
Can you not? Hold on, let me unplug my mic.
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
right. I think I've got a bit of an issue with sound.
Oh,
Can someone
I
else talk in
think-
chat quickly?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Testing,
Oh,
testing.
I've lost all sound.
Oh, no.
Oh no, my
I
default was
can hear
muted.
Okay, what happened? Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh no, my cable and my headphones came out.
Yep, you've got an issue with sound.
Oh, okay.
The voice in
Suspense
my head
ruined.
does not come back to me.
No. Sorry,
that's a
Coco.
bit-
Are you touching anything on this bookshelf?
Cool. So I look at this chassis and I do think to myself, maybe I don't know. Is it like wedged into like? Is it on the shelving? Ain't it? You said,
So you reach up high, and you try to grab it, and you pull.
but it
You
doesn't budge.
can't move it.
Okay, cool. That's got my curiosity nice and eager. So that could be to
Yeah,
me.
you can't get a close-up look though. You
Yeah.
have to step on something.
Okay. I just feel like that could be something for that cupboard. Not cupboard. Shelf. I sort of rub my feathered finger across each book and I give it a press in.
Some of them do move in, but all of them seem to be pressed up against the back of the bookshelf. A bad practice for a library, as you do need some ventilation for your books. But apart from that, there's no clicking, there's nothing. You tilt some of these books, you remove more books here and there, but no, there doesn't seem to be any mechanism. The only odd bit would be that chassis thing.
Okay. You said I had to get like closer on like a stool or something.
You'd have to prop yourself up to get a good close look at this thing.
Okay. Do I see a stool?
You can probably drag something over. Whilst you're dragging something over, we can go back to Adrick and Weylin.
All good.
What would the pair of you like to be doing? I know you've just had this conversation about the shape of the room, and you have tossed a lit object to Coco.
Everyone's kind of doing their thing. We hear a snake hitting a bookcase.
Yep.
And a disappointing. At that I would certainly chuckle. So we're in the middle of the room, really. Where is the staircase in relation to the middle of the room?
Oh, so if you go to your character sheet, have you got the map up?
Oh, there's a map. Oh, I've been blind this whole time.
No, it's all good. So if you go to your character sheet and double click on the right-hand token on your sheet, it will open the map for you.
Okay, I'm not specifically in a room. I am outside the tower.
Yeah, so that hexagonal tower that is shown on the map, the stairwell is directly opposite the door.
Right.
So it's not. Yeah, it's not in the center, and it seems to sort of coil on the. Oh, there's almost like an inner skin to this building.
Right. In which case, me and Adric would be roughly around the entrance, really, wouldn't we? Realistically.
Yeah, I would say, if you don't mind me dragging you around. Oh, you can't get in. Why can't you get in? Why can't you get in?
I don't think any of us can get in.
No, good point. Okay, I would be doing some circles. Okay, so you and Adric would roughly be here. Okay.
Right.
The other rest of the party would be just about here. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Then dotted around the room. In the middle of the room, in odd places, there are boxes. Some of these workbenches, some are broken, but the majority of them are unbroken.
Should we be able to see what the inside of the tower looks like?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
This theatre of the mind.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Coverage is not that good. Okay.
So Adric, what can you tell us about this tower?
Well, like I say, there was
Is
this
it just mages?
mage. Yeah, the mage was living here, and he had servants, mostly, well, people who worked with him. Most of them were gnomes, I think. He didn't really interact with the rest of the city much, or
Right.
certainly not with me. Do the stairs go up in both directions?
Yes, they do.
Both directions. Ooh, okay.
They're on the same landing, but opposed in the directions to coil around this inner skin.
Okay, so like there's
Almost like a
one
DNA strand, if you want to think about it, yeah?
Yeah, no, that's doing my head.
No?
In. They're kind of going. So a landing, if you like, and one goes off the left and circles behind me, and the other goes to the right and circles behind me, and then they
Yes, that is
cross,
correct, yeah.
Then they cross over. Okay, because I was thinking like big grand staircase.
Oh, no. It is completely hidden. You don't see any like balustrade or anything like that.
Oh, so inside the wall, if you
Yes, there seems to be like an inner skin, and the room that you are in forms the outer part of, so the inner part of the wall that would be part of the stairwell.
Okay, so the stairs cove up in both directions inside the inner wall.
Yeah.
Okay, can I see any doors leading off the stairs as if I
No.
look up them? No.
The bend, you can go. You look straight up because the straight edge of the hexagonal wall. Now, as it bends the corner, there doesn't seem to be any note or any clue of a door at the end of it.
So there's two directions, up and down.
Well, you can both go. You go up each way and come down each way, I presume. There's no sign saying you've got to go up on the left one and come down on the right, are there?
So a really good example, and I'm sorry to break the game a little bit here, but does anyone remember watching Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire?
So many years ago.
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
When it first came out.
So, okay, fair. There's a scene where they're going up and down stairs, and it's kind of like that.
Right, so the stair, you go up the stairs, and they sort of rotate as you're going up the stairwell.
No, it's not the movable ones. There's they go to the spire, and Mad Eye Mooney talks to Neville because he upset him, and you can see like it's quite a weird, complicated stairwell. It looked pretty good.
Oh, it's the one where he's like crying next to this window.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that one. Cool. I know what you're on about now.
Okay, one of the 5. That's good enough for me.
Okay, I'm just going to drop out of game and go watch a film. I'll be back in.
Back in 2 minutes. Yeah.
It's about half an hour in, mate.
Right.
So are there staircases that can go down a level?
No,
So you can only go up a level.
you can only go
there's
up
two
from this floor.
And there's 2 staircases leading up. And okay, Adric, do you want to have a look upstairs?
Do we go alone or? It's perfectly safe. We're at home, aren't we? What could possibly go wrong?
So each
We're at
stairwell
Yes.
can only comfortably fit one person from one wall to the other.
Do we go left or right, or do I go left and you go right, or do you go right and I go left?
We'll go
You
both
wanna
at the
go
same
first or
time.
second?
Both at the same time. I will go left.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
The stairs, bringing my torch, swinging it around.
As you go up the left-hand side of the stairs, you hit another landing. There is no door on this landing, but you can see where this other stairs would have joined. But the stairs continue to go up.
Okay. Yeah, keep going up.
Okay. As you go up, you hit another set of landing. The stairs do join again, but there is a door on this landing going into another presumed chamber of this tower.
Yeah, looking in a chamber sort of thing. Weylin's going to try the door.
You try the door. The door is unlocked. There is no light from within. You push it open.
Yeah, Weylin will push it open slowly, pushing the torch through first as he sort of opens it.
Okay. As you open the door with the creaking of its frame, the light bleeds through from your torch. The bare floor of this level shows the past positions of now broken furnishings. There are bedsits that are split and strewn across the floor, and remnants of wardrobes that are torn asunder. There are tools near the windows with broken hoardings hanging from bent nails driven into the surrounding internal masonry. As you look around, there doesn't seem to be anything of value, only the odd, broken personal effect of the inhabitants of this tower. And again, just the general features of these chambers, that the ceiling from floor to ceiling in this room is slightly lower than that of the ground floor, but it is about 14 feet high.
How big's the door?
So Weylin can comfortably go through it without bonking his head.
Or bending his ears?
Or bending his ears just sort of like tilt back, maybe, as he goes through the door.
Okay, so it's not a room for giants, it's...
No. This is a dwarven, like a comfortable dwarven place.
Something I probably should have checked earlier was, is the door frame in good condition? The one that we just came through.
Are you looking back through the door that you've come through, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so you can see that there are areas in which the door itself has tried to be sort of closed shut from the inside of this chamber. Some of the planks that were used to shore up this door are still attached at the bottom and on the top. You can see that there are broken bent nails around the floor, around like the close perimeter. But it does look to be in good condition, albeit that some of the masonry itself has been sort of broken free, almost as if the nails had pulled out the stone as they were forced off. And there does seem to be some hammers dotted around near this door, and there are some on the other side as well.
Any more scratches?
So are you going through all the mess and everything?
No, I mean, are there scratches on the door?
Looking for those details, you can't help but notice that there does seem to be some sort of scoring, some scraping that has gone up the masonry face of the stairwell into this room, but the floor is in too much of a mess to notice anything without having a good tidy up.
How thick is the dust in this room?
Moderately.
So if Weylin sort of runs his finger down.
Oh, it does. Your finger on your paw does get covered in dust, yes, but it's not thick.
It's not thick.
Yeah.
All right.
As you rub your finger across one of these broken pieces of furnishing, you notice in one of the corners that looks to be a dark spot or a patch on the floor.
Patch on the floor. I'm going to bring my torch to it.
Okay. As you pass your light over it, you can't help but get a sense of familiarity that this looks to be dried, aged blood.
Okay.
Can I quickly leave it there and go back to the group downstairs, please?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. All right. Trying to break into Fort Knox, it seems, downstairs. Ocean's 11 team. Let's go.
I'm comforting Neville.
All right. So, Coco, you're in
Hello.
front of this bookshelf with Bree. Sorry. With Bree and Loch.
Oh yeah, that was it. I got myself a stool or something to like.
Oh yes,
stand
you
on.
dragged up. So you dragged what looks to be a bench that would comfortably sit two people. You drag down. That's just at the right height, and you're now at head level, or face level to this stand, this metallic chassis of this small object.
Okay. With my little glowing spoon, is anything like on this little 6-prong holdy thing?
There
like
is
anything fancy?
No, but it looks as if something should be there.
Oh, okay, cool.
It is the feet of this stand are positioned in the way where it's all flat bottomed and everything. The top prongs that would cradle this object are curved in such a way that either it is an orb or something spherical in shape that would be nestled carefully within its grip.
Okay. I'll tell Bree. So there's a little, I don't know, it's like a little 6-pronged little holder. I could tell that something's meant to be on top of it. Don't know why it's on a bookshelf. I can't nudge it out. I feel like if you're thinking this little shelf is like a little door that can be opened, we need to find this, I want to say orb of some sort, like a little key.
It is like fixed in place though, Coco.
Yeah.
You can't move this. You can't even shift it. It's almost like some really strong adhesive is binding it to the wood. But you don't see any of this. What would you presume it as an adhesive that oozing out from where it would dried around the feet? It's clean. It's clear.
Damn, some good Gorilla Glue. Yeah, I showed Bree with like as much as I can pull with my arm wing thing. I'm like nudging it. It's not doing anything.
Yeah. You probably could hang off it.
I will show her that right now.
Fantastic.
Look at me, I'm hanging. But I probably ask Adrick if he knows anything about
He's upstairs.
said item. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
We can probably catch up with them. We can see what we can do with this door. Can I check the back of it? If there's like any way of the gap with the light.
Yep, so you climb down, you go to the edge. There is a definite breeze coming through.
Okay.
It has a different smell to it as well. It is of a different area, right?
Okay.
It's very sort of damp. It's like a very damp smell. That quality of air normally only comes from something lower down. You can't see any mechanism or any way to force it open with a crowbar. In probably forcing it open with a crowbar, you would have to really break the whole thing apart, but that would be a trying exercise.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll just turn back to Bree and Loch, saying I can't see anything on the back. Nothing of sorts that could maybe pry open anything like that. It looks just like a normal wall, but smells a bit odd.
It smells a bit odd.
It smells a bit odd. God's sake.
It smells musty, I think is the best description I can give you.
Yeah, that's a bit odd.
So, just so I heard this right, the thing that you found that's not moving is fixed in place, and the possibility of us being able to move this bookcase is by finding like a sphere, like as the key.
Possibly.
What size do you think it would be?
I saw like gesture the size to
It's
Bree.
a fist.
Yeah.
Small
Okay.
fist.
Small bird hand fist.
I think I understand.
Yeah.
I'll do a quick scan around the room, looking for a sphere of some sort, the size of a fist.
Is there a desk nearby, Chris?
There's a fair few sort of worktops that house like a load of odd items, etc. So is it safe to assume that the pair of you are trying to look for this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking through the items atop these surfaces. For a tower, and from overhearing the conversation with Adrick and Weylin of this being a mage tower of some sorts, you could almost be mistaken in thinking that this was actually more of a mining company or a guild of some sorts that was for prospecting. All the information that you're sort of pushing aside and having a brief read, Bree, is for geological strata, at least from the diagrams that you can see. A lot of it is written in Dwarven. There's prospecting tools and equipment. You actually open up one of these boxes, Coco, and in there are some sticks of dynamite.
Yo.
Can
I pocket
a
some?
lot of it seems to be just mining supplies and tools. You can take some of those, yeah.
Sick.
You've got 2 sticks of, let's just say, explosives.
Hell yeah. Coco's going to throw some grenades and stuff now.
Some of the tools that you find, Bree, look to be as if they were to be more for stone carving.
Okay.
Almost to do the really fine work that you sometimes see on temples, within the around the columns that hold up the eaves. Some of the nicer carvings, the artwork that you can see throughout corridors depicting stories, etc. Nothing, but you do also find the heavy masonry tools for really carving and cleaving blocks in twain.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there is no sign through what you can rummage through of a fist-sized object that would sit neatly within this. It was like a dark bronze stand, Coco.
Okay. Dark bronze.
Is there anything else that the 3 of you would like to do?
If we couldn't find anything, I would probably make my way up to where Adrick and Weylin are. Thus finding another location to look for the sphere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow along with my little spoon flashlight.
No worries. Loch, are you following? You slithering up?
Yeah, I'll follow.
No worries. Okay, Adrick, Weylin, you're in the room. Weylin, you have found this dried patch of what looks to be blood.
Adrick, this is blood. Somebody was hurt here. How much blood?
The more that you move aside, the more worrying it looks.
Right.
I'll mutter a short prayer. But there's no bodies?
So there's a fair few piles of broken furnishings. The beds that would have been in this location where they would have had their sort of curtains on the poster railings, they've all come down and are strewn across the floor. But just so I know, are you moving things aside and investigating the general area?
There's no curtains at the windows?
No, and again, you cannot reach these windows. There's only there's about 2 in this room that would allow light to come through.
Okay.
But again, there's very little light coming through these windows as the late evening approaches outside.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I presume the light is only high level, isn't it? Really, so.
Yeah, you can just see the light that would pierce through. That would you'd see that column of dust. But that's only when you hide your torch, Weylin, to try and see that.
Are there any sconces strewed about?
There's a couple here and there along the wall. One of them, 1 or 2, seem to be bent.
Okay. Any with torches in?
No, they're all empty.
Okay.
I'll have a look around for more signs of bleeding or body parts or anything.
You're shifting items around, Adric, lifting like members of a bed here and there, slats of a table. You notice a hand, pale, ghastly hand, underneath all the debris, and next to this hand, you notice a book.
Is there an arm?
Yes, it goes to deeper within this debris. It's battered, bruised.
Okay. I'll put the book carefully to one side where I know where it is and try and clear the debris off the person.
Okay. You clear the debris. So, Weylin, what were you doing in this room?
I would have spent a bit of time tracking the blood to see where it went, and from there assisting Adric.
Yeah, no problem. So you've sort of gone onto the opposite side of the room because you notice more pools of this blood and some smear marks here and there around the floor. As Adrick seems to be investigating this one spot more than anything else, you do go back and you notice that, yes, there is a body. And you aid Adrick in removing more and more of this rubbish. Adrick, I'm sorry, but it is one of your dwarven brethren. Someone who you do not know, but someone who would have been aiding this mage that lived within this tower, presumably, especially from the robes that it is he is still dressed in. However, it is tattered, ripped, torn, almost as if this dwarven sage, the sage hand, has been mauled and beaten up, bruised. Yes, a fairly grisly end to this one's life.
I will clasp my holy symbol and say a prayer for the departed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the individual.
You do not, I'm afraid.
After I've finished praying, I'll turn to the book.
Okay.
Does it look interesting?
So, this seems to be someone's journal of sorts. However, a lot of the pages have been ripped, tattered, soiled by the rubbish or the events of what had happened. For the pages that aren't either stuck together, let's say, or ripped and torn with information missing, there does seem to be a fair bit of information across dates, almost as if it's someone's like diary journal. But there's no name that you can find reading through the Dwarven writing, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll turn to the last page.
Okay. As you start to read the book, you can hear the footsteps coming from the stairwell behind you, and the remaining 3 of your party are now in the room.
Squawk, squawk.
I'm sorry for your loss, Adrick. I'm guessing you didn't know him.
No, I didn't know lots of people. Spent most of my life either in the temple or at home. This guy looks like he used to live here. He's got the clothes of a sage. He was holding, well, this book was by his hand. It looks like a journal. But yeah, there's nothing more we can do for him.
Do you know what happened? Like, what could have caused this attack?
I'm just checking to see if this is his journal, if he wrote down what was happening.
Mm-hmm. I guess while Adric does that, I'm going to have a look around the room really quick for the sphere.
Okay. It is an absolute mess, Bree. There's something dreadful has most certainly gone down in this room. Adric, you said you were turning to like the last pages of this book, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, as you flick through the pages and the sort of swathes of leaves of this book that have you can't decipher because how bad they are, you see dated the 6th day of the 3rd 10-day, Kythorn, 1491. It reads, "We're being attacked. Walls being defended. No chance of getting to the city. We've barricaded the doors. Something is in the tower. We cannot get out. My peers are panicking. We tried to get the provosts above us to do something, but the door will not budge. We are alone. We are lost." There does seem to be more entries prior to that throughout the book. Is there anything else you would like to do, Adric?
Adric, you're muted, if that's...
I was talking.
I'm sorry. I wish I was clairvoyant. My apologies.
What sort of GM are you?
I know. A bad one.
I was going to look at the previous page.
Okay, do you want to read them in order?
Going backwards.
You're going backwards. Okay, right. Okay, 3rd day of the 3rd 10-day, Kythorn, 1491. We've been called out of the city. Some of the sages have been caught stealing livestock from the inner walls. I do not know why. We have no pens nor methods of preparing the animals for slaughter. No sign of the ark. since the mine incident either. His chambers above are locked, and the only notice of tasks or projects is given through the provosts. My project with the geodes was a success, I may add, and I have been told they've been sent to the temple. Nothing else has been given to me.
So that's 3 days before the attack.
Yep.
Okay. Stealing livestock. And so since the what mine incident? I'll flip back through the pages looking for more references to the mine incident.
Okay. Whilst Adrick is flicking through, trying to piece together what he can from the smudges and everything within this book, is there anything more specific people would like to be doing, or I guess more importantly, Adrick, are you relaying this back to the group? Apologies, or are you just taking it all in?
I've read out those last 2 pages,
okay.
And now I'm flicking through the book.
Yeah. So who's stood around Adrick for story time?
Wayland's taking a seat. Yeah.
Okay. So Weylin, yourself, you're round Adrick and the body.
I am there too.
Okay.
Bree is listening, but kind of moving debris around, looking for the spear.
Not a problem. Loch, I guess you're in snaky snake form, yeah?
I am, yeah. How long's it been?
You've probably got 40-ish minutes left of the snake.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so moving through the pages of this tome, Adrick, you come to another entry. The seventh day of the second 10-day Kythorn. We've done something grave and we have no control. Several miners have been lost to the beast from within the cavern we broke into. We tried to go back to retrieve potential survivors, but the fire forgers sealed the entranceway against the archers' orders, fearing the beast make its way to the citadel. The order has now placed heightened security on us, and we are all being questioned as to why the Enclave insisted and pushed deeper underground than agreed. I myself am trying to understand why, for now, we're all being brought into questioning. Furthermore, now the Ark will not come to us, with none of our questions being fully answered by the provosts. I'll press on with my research to distract me. The next steps I must look into these scriptures. I've been told they are to empower the wards in the temple wherever they are.
When did I leave home? It was second 10 day?
Oh, I will need to open a calendar item. Hang on 2 seconds.
I think it was the middle of the first 10 day of Kythorn.
No, so you left 2 seconds. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so on the 5th day of the third 10 day of Kythorn, you were asked to go do something. Okay, so you weren't in the city, right?
Oh yes, I went out to the wards. Yes.
So therefore, on the 6th day, the day that you were either travelling back or about to come back, that is when the attack happened. You departed the actual city fully on your month-long travel before you met up with Loch. You left on the 10th day of the third 10 day of Kythorn. Okay.
Oh, so
there was 3 days in which you were trying to get your personal effects in order due to what had happened in that event. That is when you were given the task of bringing back things that were, stolen, let's say.
Oh, okay. I'm getting kind of sick feeling.
Would you like to carry on reading?
Yeah.
As you flick through this book, you can see that there's a load of diagrams and things, and almost like checklists of tasks, or almost as if this sage has been trying to hypothesize what works well for some sort of process or one another. Tasks that are successful, they have a big tick against them. Those that haven't have been scribbled out completely. It seems to be as if they are a mixture of evocation, things to do with trying to remember conjuration and transmutation, but in likeness to the items that you saw in the bottom floor, it's almost as if they're trying to turn into sort of transmutation with metallurgy and geodes of some sort. Really trying to be like physicists more than mages, those of the arcane power. So as you trawl back, you see another entry. At the 5th day of the second 10-day, Kythorn, 1491. A couple more of senior sages within my band have been selected and have now left for an expedition. This is the 3rd group this solstice. No one knows where they go off, but it's sure to be more exciting than this dreary nook in the mountains. It's not going to make the tower work any easier, however, now being another set of hands down. I've now been tasked to study geodes as conduits for empowering our rituals. The samples I've been given have been of great quality, but I'm still unsure as to why this needs to be done.